Revit has a tool called the Join Geometry tool, which allows two different kinds of Revit objects or two similar Revit objects to clean up on one another. In this instance, and I'm going to zoom in here, we have a Revit wall and a Revit floor. And the Revit floor is currently sitting up on the second floor of the building. And what I'd like it to do is have the floor sit on the structural elements that make up the wall. Then I'd like to have the wall up above have its structural elements sit right on top of the structural element that makes up the floor. All this time, I don't want to have any of the material cut out of the outside of the wall so that we won't see any of the structure of the floor sticking out on the outside of the building. So to achieve all this, we're going to use the Join Geometry tool. Now we can do this by selecting on either the wall or the floor. Then from there, click on the Join tool, and then in this case, I'm going to pick the floor and then the wall. And we can now see that the floor is sitting on the structural element that makes up this wall. Also, we can see that the structural elements up here that make up the wall are now sitting on the actual structural part or on the concrete and structural part that make up the floor. So now it's all together and it's one component and it cleaned up appropriately. So by using the Join Geometry tool, you can either clean up multiple floors, multiple walls, or in this case, a floor and a wall that are trying to come together so that their materials meet at the correct locations.